Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Today on Tallidus Plays, we continue our Season 11 PvE Harvest Server playthrough. And you can tell I look a little different. That's because we went to medical school. And by that I mean that we died in the previous episode. And we re-rolled our character, and now we are a doctor as our main profession. So, yeah, we have slightly different skills, and we're going to see if I can't read my skill journal here and reacquire the skills from our previous character. Should be right here. I can read this. And just like that, boom. We have gained all these skills. We got some long blade, short blade, maintenance, a little bit extra first aid. We got carpentry, aiming, and reloading. Now, I'm going to do a little bit of maintenance in terms of getting re-equipped with all of my gear. And we're going to take some stuff out of our car. But we're going to do all that in a little bit of a time lapse here. So I'll see y'all in just one moment. All right, let's get on the road here. Again, we grabbed a little bit of snacks. We've got our character pretty much back in tip-top condition, and we're going to throw these snacks in our glove compartment. And today, we want to get some more money, because we have about 712 in cash stored in our bank account. One of these days, I will figure out how to actually access that money through the account system, but I like keeping it in there because it is safe, and we know we'll be able to use it. And today, we're going to go back to Crossroads, because we now know, despite my earlier efforts, that the smart thing to do is actually grab toys. Those are going to be your big money makers. So, put the hammer and saw in the back seat for now. We can grab those if and when we need it. But for the time being, I think that will be the play. We're going to go through Westpoint, and we're going to hit up the Crossroads Mall. Again, halfway between here and Louisville. And devotees will recall the Crossroads Mall from our New Year's Eve jewel heist. And it's worth mentioning at this point that it is now May 30th in-game time. So we are approaching in a couple, about a month and a half of in-game time here. Will be officially 1 full year in this server as far as simulated Zomboid time goes. So again, July 9th being the start date. That is always when the game starts on default settings. And if I recall, that is when this server got started up, was on July 9th. I didn't join until a couple real-life days later, so for me it was more like, I think August or September when I joined in, quote-unquote. But I just pretend that that's when I woke up out of a cryo sleep, or maybe just a really, really heavy slumber there. Again, we're gonna sneak through Westpoint. We're kind of ignoring all the zombies for now. Could not find all my shotgun ammo. I could swear that we had a large crate of shotgun ammo. Ooh, my goodness. We're going through. Wow. I've never seen a car bounce off of zombies like that. That was unique. I'll have to check the engine and see if it took any damage. That was very interesting. Anyways, yeah, so I thought I had a lot more shotgun shells than we actually do. So we'll keep our eyes peeled. I might swing by the gun store here in town and just see if it's respawned the loot. Again, players have been more centered around the hub lately, so I think there is a chance that they are not really checking as frequently for the loot respawns. So I could be wrong. I mean, I literally fall into that category. I haven't checked probably a week, real time. I haven't checked this vicinity that I'm headed to. And I do believe that a lot of the loot will respawn every 2 to 3 real-life days. So in-game, I think that's kind of like every 2 months loot will respawn. Oh, somebody's got zombies coming out of their house. Again, we're at the interesting influx point of the server where you're seeing obviously all this time ravaging the streets, the infrastructure, but you also see it ravaging the players' bases. Some players haven't been on in a little while. They might have changed their base, found greener pastures. So the look is a bit different in town. You're gonna notice, you know, some bases that appear to have been completely sort of tattered by the zombie hordes as they pass through. Other bases will be rebuilt. Oh, hey, what's going on, Waddles? What's up, guys? We got some players over here.
Yeah, what's up?
What y'all up to?
Yeah, just doing stuff.
Cuckoo. Couple of SLAY. Again, faction colors can sometimes indicate what their intention is. So a red faction color can sometimes imply a little bit of a danger. You know, red is danger. So we're not going to poke the bear. Looks like they just came from this area. We see all these dead zombies. Surprise, surprise. Let's hop out, get our machete at the ready. And we are scouring for the leftovers. Let's see if they missed any of these. I'm fairly certain that they probably just wiped this whole store out. But let's double check anyways. Yep, it is totally empty, and I feel like they just came through here. That's why there's all the dead zombies. Alright. Checking here. I'm gonna hop right back in the vehicle. And honestly, I'm pretty sure this means all the good spots in all the good spots in Westpoint are probably looted out. So let's just make our way straight on over to the mall. Because when I was there, I did notice a few toy stores. And honestly, I didn't really understand that toys were worth anything. I thought it had to be jewelry. But again, as we found out in our previous escapades, toys are arguably better than jewelry. So we're going to go back to the mall today and see if we can't sneak in and get our hands on some of those awesome toys. Sell them for a profit, potentially even afford a cure. And again, we're not planning on getting bitten. Nobody ever plans to be bit. But people will know after the last episode that that is exactly how my previous character passed away on this server. They were bit. So we're going to try to hedge our bets and secure a virus cure for future usage. Big ol' storefront here. That might be a fully custom building there with a Twiggy sign on it, so that's quite impressive. Again, as time goes on, some of these players have really just like gone bananas making these custom structures, mostly around the hub. But there are still some original unique buildings throughout the map, and that was definitely one of them. Which is, you know, very cool. I like the idea of, you know, it's not just inhabiting a building, finding a house or, you know, a retail building and just boarding up the windows and calling it a day. Like, no, these people are actually creating entire structures, you know, for freestanding structures. So it's really cool. Again, we're going to have to just plow through some of these zombies, unfortunately. I do see some bodies, which means that there's a good chance players have been through here. I'm just going to hope that they haven't done exactly what I'm about to do, but that might be the case. We shall see. Again, a lot of zombies on the road right now. And Yes, my gauges are going crazy in the vehicle as we continue to plow into the zombie horde. They do not like it when I hit stuff, but it's better than hitting trees, which I almost just did. And see if we can't open this can of soup while we're driving. I have to be stopped. Okay, we're safely stopped. Open can of soup. And we're good. Let's keep driving. We can eat or drink while we drive. Drinking, potable items like soups. Healthy beverages, of course. But you can't, I guess, operate a steering wheel while you're using a can opener. I guess that kind of makes sense, but, what are you going to do? Again, we're getting a little bit of the lag, kind of loading map errors occasionally. We are now in the tier 3 zone, which means we need to be extra cautious because right there, case in point, there are sprinters. Again, we see more random zombie bodies. They despawn after not too long in the server just because so many players are on the server. So if you see a body at all, there's a good chance there's players either in the vicinity or they've recently come through the vicinity. So I'm going to hope that they kept going north, but if we see a lot of bodies in front of the mall, then the loot might have already been looted, but we shall see. Also, there's a lot of other ways to make money in the game. You don't have to just loot things and sell them to the ATMs. You can obviously trade with other players. That's the intended purpose of the economy, is to, players can actually use the tokens and the cash to trade amongst each other. Again, if you watched the recent episode I posted, we were doing a little bit of haggling, trying to get a cure off of somebody, but unfortunately, it was all for naught. The character ended up passing away due to the bite, and we restarted with our new doctor character that we're currently playing. Again, I'm going to avoid the bigger clumps here. We're trying to get to the southwest side because we know we have a fairly decent entrance. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go. I really don't see any way that this works without me getting eaten alive by zombies, especially because I just keep destroying all of these zombies. I don't know if my muffler is just in really bad shape. Look at this whole wall of zombies coming out the fence. So I'm starting to wonder if my muffler is just like randomly kind of kicking out very, very loud single shot noises, because I mean it's almost like I'm honking the way some of these zombies are reacting. I know the muffler is loud, but I did not think it was that loud, to be honest. So what are you gonna do other than evacuate? Okay, be very careful here. I don't want to hit too many. Take quite a bit of damage, he said, while ramming into a vehicle. Oh, this gets bad up here. Okay, yeah, I'm about to lose some of these windows too. I'm not careful. Okay, we're gonna maneuver around. Through, okay. Oh, this is dicey. This is dicey, folks. I think we we go left and we just get out of this area. This tier 3 stuff is not for the faint of heart. So let's get out of the area altogether. There are still other options, like I said, for the toys. And again, it doesn't even have to be toys. That's just a surprisingly, high earning item that I did not think would be worth any money. And again, from experience in the previous episode, I noticed that, yeah, the toys are worth way more than jewelry. They're not just worth as much, but they're worth even more. So, I'm going to just take the same road out that we came in on. Go around these guys. And yep, that's where we turn into the mall area right there. So again, we're just going to keep our eyes peeled, make sure we try not to hit any players on the road, but we're going to get out of the tier 3 area. It's just not a big fan of this. I don't think we really got anything for doing that, to be honest. I might actually clip that into a bit of a montage because while it is intense, it's not necessarily entertaining. Just watching me drive around and look at zombies for about 30 minutes, so I might just cut that into a little bit of a time lapse and rejoin once I get back towards proper civilization. In this case, just the Westpoint main area, and we'll look through some of those stores on Main Street. Also, I believe there's a school, possibly 2 schools in Westpoint, so I think the elementary school is the smaller one on the south central area. So they're more than likely to have at least a few toys on hand. This is that pack that almost made me recoil earlier when I hit him. Literally bounced my van off of a zombie, which is quite interesting. Just check something here. Okay, we're looking good. Alright. Oh. You guys alright? There's a lot of zombies around this red car.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, that's Nor. So that is somebody I've been hearing in the chat a little bit. I just haven't really interacted with them that much. Wow, some big piles of bodies there. That's interesting. They might be going for the kill count. Again, on the server, they kind of do a running kill count. And I think it's by faction. So each faction is sort of competing to have the most zombie kills for the season. And I believe whoever wins gets a little bonus for the next season. So it's just kind of a fun, mostly for the bragging rights, from what I've heard. But also it's a nice little leg up on the next season. Open up our canned potato. Which, now that I realize canned potato sounds kind of gross, to be honest. Alright, and we're back on the road here. So again, we decided to avoid the Crossroads Mall. I must have gotten lucky when I did the jewel heist. Or, what makes more sense is all those vehicles we saw in there probably drew all those zombies into the actual mall. So there's a non-zero chance that all those people showing up with their fancy cars and trailers drew even more hordes into the mall area, making it virtually unlootable, at least for the uninitiated like myself. Other people might have automatic weapons, thousands of rounds of ammo, the best possible armor, but for me, I got decent armor and that's about it. I don't have the skills, and I definitely don't have the ammo to deal with thousands of zombies. So right now, I've got a plan, which is to stop at Gigamart, and then we're going to look for toys. So let's swing by Gigamart first here. Again, we know that those 2 guys from Slay were just on the back of Gigamart when we passed through. So there's a really good chance that they have looted all the stuff. Well, actually, it's fairly open right now. Decent shot that this might actually be a fresh Loot sesh. Yeah, we got fresh food. Again, if anything's fresh after almost a full year in game, you know that's because of a loot respawn. And even now, some of the respawned items have still gone rotten. It's just people leave them there. Again, we don't really take the stale stuff. I'm just taking fresh items right now. Ooh, we got any fresh bread? Ooh, we do have one loaf of fresh bread. What about the meat? Nah, that's all stale. Stale, rotten. That's no fun. Teriyaki. Oh, takoyaki. That's what I was thinking about. Yeah, takoyaki is octopus balls. So. Very tasty street food. Alright, and let's go through and look for a few items specifically. Well, we're still taking the jewelry. Again, it's not worthless, it's just worth less than the toys. See what they did there? So yes, whatever is marked. Again, I think it has to be a category of toy. We do have some like collectibles, but those are not technically a toy, so that doesn't really count. Again, you would think so, but again, they're collectibles. It's like Beanie Babies and stuff, you know? Okay, bop, bop, bop. Toy flashlight, but again, that's a source of light, not actually a toy. Oh, and also, what do they say? A plastic cutting board? We'll try the wooden cutting board just to see. It seemed like a very specific thing to mention. I don't know why they said it, but for some reason, a plastic cutting board came up as being a very useful item to sell. It could be, you know, them having a little bit of fun with my lack of knowledge. But if I find one, I'll grab it. I'm also going to try out this wooden cutting board just to see. Maybe, you know, the ATMs have a preference for kitchen utensils. Okay, no toys to speak of. What kind of grocery store doesn't have any toys? Come on. What is this, a normal grocery store? You kidding me? Take the money from the reg, and honestly, I think we're going to check the back storage area over here, and then we'll get out of here. Yeah, people see places to rob, so. Ooh, gummy bears. Grab that. You know what? We'll grab this coffee. I have not officially used the coffee in game yet, but I think we grabbed some paper filters. And realizing now those could be for something else altogether, paper filters, but I'm going to assume that they might actually be for coffee and tea. So we'll try those out. Again, we'll grab all this. This is non-perishable. We just eat the taco shells a la carte, I guess. And canned food and crackers. Yep, we'll grab it all. We'll grab it all. There's one more shelf I want to check on the back wall over here. It's overlooked by a lot of people when they loot this little area. This is again, very, very solid. Honestly, I'm not going to use those radishes, so I'm not even going to grab them. It's just a waste of inventory. You saw, I think I had a sack of apples that had gone rotten between episodes. I don't keep my generator running at base. You know, I suppose I could now that I realized that the fuel actually lasts quite a while in the generators, so maybe I will kick it on. And we could start actually preserving some fresh food once in a while. Because, yeah, it would be nice to mix it up. And again, my character has been eating primarily just straight canned food for the better part of this entire playthrough. You know, maybe they deserve just a little bit of flavor. Speaking of flavor, we'll grab the salt. Plastic cutting board. Again, we're testing the theory here. I don't know if that's really a thing, but it just says junk. But again, I think the toys are also basically junk, so we'll try it out. We'll see. Oh yeah, I forgot all these khaki counters actually count as well. Nothing going there. Did I check? Sorry. Yeah, we went through these. I don't know if I looked for the cutting board. Okay. Well, we'll try it out. Try the cutting board theory out. Throw all this in my trunk. And we'll continue to scour the town of Westpoint for specific and very odd loot requirements. Again, I come into town and what I want is plastic cutting boards, silver looped earrings, and toys. Like a real monster. Those are the things I'm looking for. Just gonna wipe the town clean of all their toys and cutting boards and earrings. And dried chickpeas. Alright, and then we got lots of cutting boards. Salt. Who knows? I might actually add salt to something. Let's check our engine just to see what happened after that little foray. Yeah, I had a hunch. The windshield is trashed. 14% on the windshield. I gotta say, everything else actually fared pretty well. Our front right window got a little whacked up. The front left window could be doing better, but honestly, I'll take it. You know, it could be a lot worse. We gotta get that windshield repaired. So I might enlist the help of one of our friendly neighbors. Again, a windshield repair is pretty easy. I don't think people are gonna try to gouge me for it. They might honestly just do it for free, because that one is a straightforward repair. Basically, they just fix it up. I think, I don't even know if you need a replacement windshield for that. But again, a lot of people in this server aren't exactly rocking vans as their main mode of transportation, so I don't think van windshields are in super high demand. The only issue I might actually have is that they might all be shattered because people are using those windshields to make test tubes. So that might be the only catch-22 there. Again, we're looking at these dried areas where sometimes they have like a little toy section in some of these markets. This one appears to be pretty stale all the way through. Yeah, rotten lettuce, rotten lemon meringue. Actually, is that fresh? That's stale. We're not going to grab it. Okay. Let's get out of here. I'm just kind of checking all these little stores up and down Main Street. Not sure what this one is. Office space. Okay, we don't care about that right now. This is like another convenience store, I think. Maybe a tool store. Yeah, tool store. Yeah, nothing crazy there. Too crazy there either. Cut resistant gloves. Not too shabby. Long blonde, short blonde. Okay, we know where to go for those. Oh. Whoa! It's screeching down the street there. Those are those sleigh members. There's another one. It's their vehicle. I don't know what they're up to, but they're making me nervous a little bit here, folks. We're gonna hop back in our van. I don't want to hit anybody. I'm not trying to start a fight here. So we're just gonna roll past them nice and friendly. I am going to swing by the police station just in case they forgot to loot it. Because there's a possibility if they forgot, then we could try to get some more ammo and weaponry. Again, somebody disassembled all the lockers, so unfortunately I don't think they'll respawn any more items. Luckily, these still exist, and they are totally empty. That's to be expected. Just double check, make sure, yeah, the lockers are gone. All that extra loot is gone. That's unfortunate, because the lockers had some good stuff. They would have nightsticks, maybe Kevlar, holsters, things of that nature. But whether through ignorance or strategy, those have all been disassembled, so we can no longer loot the lockers in the police station. Got Enigma books. This is the bank. What do we have here? Insurance company, clothing store. It's just a store, kind of open-ended. I guess we could pop in here. This is another kind of general clothing store, but this might have some toys. This is like Jingle All the Way, you know, we're hunting for toys. Trying to see what we can find. Somebody put a toaster on the floor, interesting. Okay, nothing going there. Fury Cake, or Furikake, I don't know what it's called. Camping Hatch and Light Source. We'll read this just because we're on that particular skill level. Military flashlight with no batteries. That doesn't do us too much good. Cork noteboard. Okay. Bag of sodium hydroxide. Yeah, I feel like these toys are suddenly very rare, as all the players will have probably been looting them. So the only other option right now, I think, will be to go over to the Mallrats Mall in Monmouth. But I'm a little hesitant to do so because I think we just went there in our previous episode, so I don't know if there's going to be much original things to find, really. We'll swing by this little purple building here. I think this is like a little schoolhouse right here. So we will go ahead and just pop out and check it out. Leave the car running. Liquor bonbons, okay. I'll take forever to get here. Let's just go inside and see what we see. Yep, this definitely looks like elementary. My dear Watson. That's collectible. Let's see what's here. A lot more collectibles, some junk. We have Toy Bear, Toy Car, but again, these are junk, not toy. But we'll grab them just to see. I'm not sure what qualifies as what anymore. So we'll keep an eye on that. And what do we have here? Brick toys. Okay, so maybe it has to just have toy in the name? I don't know. This will be interesting to see. And we could probably, if there's still a, ooh, mirror. I wonder if, can we break this mirror? Unpack. No. Okay, this is just for applying makeup, I think. I'm wondering if we can, might still be a, oh, hey, the zombie caught up to us finally. I think there's an ATM at Knox Bank that we can look into. So we'll try to see if that works. And we got some more jewelry. Okay, let's check the principal's office. Nothing in the kitchenette. Nothing that we really care about. Bop, 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 bop. Okay. And yes, all maintenance, sulfuric acid. I mean, we could still keep grabbing the sulfuric acid, I don't know. Now that I know it's so common, it's not quite as valuable as they thought. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, folks? Let's eat some chocolate. I'm gonna head back to Knox Bank and see if the ATM is there. Again, some people have been running around just, I guess, disassembling or picking up the ATMs, which is unfortunate for the rest of the players who would like to use them. But we'll see if this one is still here. Kill the engine. And hop on inside. Okay, this one is still here, so that's good. Now, again, I right-click this, I go money for toys. Okay, so yeah, the brick toys, toy car. Oh, crayons count. Oh. Okay. And I think it's $10 a pop, so yeah, I'm gonna go back and get these crayons. I mean, money for jewelry with precious gems. Yeah, $3 a pop. So clearly one is better than the other. 6 money for jewelry with diamonds. I mean, effectively toys are worth more than diamonds. Not sure how that works. Move those to our account. So now we know crayons might be the secret here. They count as toys. then we can really make a killing, because then crayons are available anywhere that basically has any sort of stationery. So like bookstores, for instance. The books aren't really worth much, at least not directly at an ATM, but the crayons. Look, we have Enigma books right over here. Let's do that. A lot of times these stores will have just like writing utensils kind of stacked in one of the areas. Plus, you know, we're not going to read fishing. We're not fishing. I'm not going to do that to you folks. It's tempting. It would be a great way to just make consistent food, but nobody's trading for food on the server, and watching somebody fish on Project Zomboid is one of the least exciting things I can think of. So we're taking electricity just because I might be disassembling some devices as we go for electrical components. So it does help to have that. Again, we're not worrying about any of the other stuff for now. Okay. Really came in here looking for crayons. Yep. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna drive back to that school because I saw, I think, at least a handful of crayons in there. And I mean, if you think about it, so if it's $10 a pop for every individual toy item, I mean, crayons. If you pick up 4 crayons, they're telling me that's worth $40. Not sure who's doing the exchange rates here, but we'll see. Again, I don't know if all toys are priced equal. That could just be for like the toys that I brought in. So I'm very curious to try this out here. So this could be a big get if these crayons are worth this much. Alright, so I think they were over here. We have 1 there, 2 more there. I mean, yeah. That's 4 right there. So the collectibles are just straight up for the sake of collecting. So we're not going to worry about those. But now I know to be a lot more. Let's try the toy flashlight. Again, I don't think that's going to count as much. But we can't be too sure. Okay, those are collectibles. Yeah, I tried to sell collectibles in the last episode. That did not work, so we know that that's not an option. So back to the bank, see what we get. Again, I try to look up the full list of tradable items, toys to cash-wise. It's a little tricky. Some of these modded things, I honestly don't know. It's a fairly large mod list that we're playing on for the server. So I don't always know like what resource to look up to actually get the mod information directly. A good example would be synthesizing these virus cure. That's a whole thing. It's a whole dang whole thing. So again, here I can look at the options for money for toys. Let me see, maybe if I go to like the craft menu. This always lags out for a minute. If I go to the craft menu, I should be able to like check. I'm hearing a zombie. Hold on. Yeah, they're probably heading towards the van. Okay. Thank you for the earrings. We'll go back in. Okay. So again, if I open this, I should be able to check. At least in my opinion, I should be able to check and see what I can trade in for money. It used to be like... There's all these shatterable options. Car windows, empty bottles, perfume. Anything made of glass, basically. Can be shattered. Yep. Oh, zombie. What are the odds? Okay, I should probably turn the car off. I think it's just drawing them out. Okay, well, we'll try to be quicker here. Again, I just want to see what the heck I can actually trade in that counts. Money. Here we go. Money for locket, money for, oh my goodness. Tokens for other tokens. Money. Let's just type in money. Oh, they're all gonna have money in the name. Oh my goodness. What if I say toy? Money for toys. Okay, so crayons, basketball, brick toy, cat toy, cubes, dice, dog, chew toys. Doll, football, playing card, soccer ball, tennis ball, toy bear, toy car. So if it says toy, or if it's a sporting device like a basketball or football, Rubik's cubes, or dog toys, cat toys, or crayons, those are all worth 10. And look at that, toy flashlight also apparently counts. I guess I have to have the Call of Duty trader or COD trader. I don't know. What else gives a lot of money though? There's some of these. So 200 money. Yeah. So tier 1 and 200 money are kind of interchangeable. You could buy all these other things for money. You could buy a claim orb. Fix a flat. Oh wow, for 5 tier 1 tokens. That seems insane to me. Full gas can for 1 tier 2 token. Wow. Gold ingots. So there are gold ingots. Interesting. I know we found that little area on the previous episode with a whole bunch of gold ingots, but there was nothing to loot there. That's good to know. What else is it going to look into? Oh yes, the zombie cure. So we have all these cool things, but let's see. Again, pink slips to all sorts of different vehicles and cars. Again, these cost several tier 1 tokens or tier 2 tokens. So go past it. Basically all the cars in the game are purchasable. Oh, here we go. Syringe. With advanced vaccine. It's 9 tier. Syringe with the gift of 2 tier 3 tokens. And what is a tier 3? So tier 3 is 10 twos. 2 is 10 ones. Wow. And 1 is 200. So 100, so that's 200. So tier 2 is 2,000. And a tier 3 is $20,000 cash. So, yeah, that does not seem very sustainable. Not gonna lie. I think really that money for what else do we get money for? We get dog tags. Jewelry isn't really worth that much, to be honest, but we'll do the toys, the dog tags. What else gets us money? I mean, gold coins. That's not that bad. Gold coins, gold ingots. You know, I guess I should actually type money here because this is going to show us more specifically. See, the rest of this is just money going out of our pocket. We want the money going into our pocket. Lingerie, the toys are really good. Watches, accessories, basically worthless. I mean, there's a buck each. Yeah, I think the silver ingots over coins, basically half as much as gold. And the toy flashlight. Okay. Well, now we know. So money for toys will go all. And again, there's a way to do this where it's not just showering money onto the ground, but I don't know. I'll figure that out. I guess I just right-click the item in my own inventory. More for that. So a toy flashlight is supposed to be an option. Move coins into account. Now, again, how would I go about getting the coins out of my account? I just don't know. Craft helper. Okay, that just shows what I've done recently, I think. Money for junk toys, the tier 1s, tier 2s, tier 3s, bop, 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 bop. Recipes. Do I right click my wallet? Transfer to, like, I can't transfer to myself, can I? No, because that would just transfer wallet to wallet. There must be some way to do it. Maybe I have to go to the hub directly, I guess, and use that. I would like to get this big hiking bag. That's just a nice thing to have. As much looting as we do, that would come in handy. Yeah, effectively that cost 1,000 bucks because we need 1,000 to buy 5 tier 1 tokens. Could we this? There's a shop kiosk to buy. Clear cart. So I guess we could just buy from our balance straight through there. I think that's how that works. So I guess that's what the hub is for. Players building shops, and you can use those shops in order to actually get, you know, other items. And I think here, I'm gonna throw the toy flashlight back in our bag here. Let's go to the other school in Westpoint, and then I think we're gonna call it for today. How am I doing with food? I could eat some of these bonbons. Why not? I'll just eat all those. Kick on the headlights because it is nighttime. It's getting a little dangerous at night. Could use a little bit more fuel, but we have plenty to get to the school, back to home. Again, there's 2 more purple buildings. I know where the school is. We actually haven't been to this particular school during this playthrough yet. I think it's either the middle school or the high school. But I'm thinking they should still have some crayons, potentially toys on hand. Player vehicle there. So let's check it out. Also, we might get some light reading in the library. And try to regain a little bit of our skill boosts. Again, not wasting as much time on reading between characters because just accepted that we might be dying more frequently than usual as the server progresses. We're going to turn off the engine here just to not draw the whole horde. Try to sneak and speak quieter while I do it, because I don't want to get all those guys on my tail. Okay, but now that we're inside, let's click on our flashlight, and we'll get to looting. So we'll start with the library. And I'm actually going to kill my light for now, because we don't want it shining outwards towards everybody. Definitely read Carpentry 1, 2. You gotta read Crazy Legs, right? Gotta learn the dance moves. I don't know how to exactly customize the hotbar when you perform dances, but we'll figure it out. Here come the zombies. Yep, again, one is smearing up against the window right now, it seems. Prepare for a jump scare. The jump scare is imminent. Nothing really there. Getting all the knowledge. Let's read some tailoring, because I think I might try to do a bit more of that with this character. We know we either need to find new gloves or repair the current ones, because we definitely got bit on our right hand, and so there's a hole there. Commercial models, I guess we're gonna do that. Looking good. Cooking 1, 2. You know, I haven't done almost any cooking on this playthrough, but we might dive into that as well. We've been more action and looting focused, but at some point we might want to settle down, do a little tailoring, do a little cooking, you know, kind of rein things in a bit. There's a zombie. Okay, silver necklace. Alright, show me where the crayons are. I want to know where the crayons at. And yes, I've been mixing it up every time I say it. Crayons, 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 crayons. I say crayons. Yeah, we might not find as many in this school, because I don't think it's an elementary school. Empty bottle. So wait, let me shatter this. So does that go to my inventory as shattered glass? Okay, I guess we'll start collecting that. Hopefully I'm not going to hurt myself. Let's pick up a bandage now that we're shattering random pieces of glass. Probably wouldn't hurt. Pick up a water bottle as well. And you know what? I don't know if I have any more snacks on my character. That's a great injustice. So we'll swing by the cafeteria and see if there's anything left over in the the fridges. This is storage room. Okay. Nothing going there. Should probably start opening some of these books that I don't intend to actually ever read, so I don't keep looking through the same 5 or 6 books each time. But we'll get around to it. Okay, my character is sweating because it's getting a little toasty. We're all bundled up for the winter time, and it's starting to get a little warm, 63 degrees. So, so can we shatter this? No, we can't. Okay. What about these? Are these shatterable? No. Maybe they're super high durability or something. Who knows? All right. Spiffo flashlight. That's cool. Engine parts magazine. Got that. So yeah, I don't know if we're gonna find many of the toy items in this school. Search a couple rooms, but if I don't find anything, I'm just gonna probably bail. But yes, we did learn the definition of toys. I'll grab this toy flashlight. Again, there's something about COD trader, COD trader. I don't know. We'll figure that out too. I don't know if that's like a special shop we need to do this at. Who knows? But yeah, we'll go down the line here and just grab anything that looks like a toy. Ooh, what is this? A passport backpack. Is that better than my duffel bag? I've been rocking this duffel the whole game, and it's not that good, to be honest. It's capacity 18, encumbrance of 65. This is 17. So, oh, okay. Well, I guess it's still better than those. Okay, like how you can see everybody just throwing these bags down on the ground as they loot through. A lot of these toy flashlights. So if I could figure out how to sell those, then we are in business, because I'm guessing it's not easy because nobody's taking them, but they could also just have respawned. This whole school seems like it respawned fairly recently. Prepare glass for smelting, remove glass from pan, extract glass pane. Kitchen kilns. Okay, I think we are... Casual day pack. Ooh, that is better. We're gonna grab that. That's encumbrance of 70. So it's actually a little bit better than our duffel bag. We finally found a better bag. Of course, we're gonna be able to afford a big hiking bag soon enough, but you know, every little bit counts, folks. Every little bit. And again, I guess I'll just be the toy flashlight guy, because I'm finding these all over the place in the school. Yo. I mean, it's, I guess, a little bit more fun, at least, looting for, you know, toys rather than jewelry off of the corpses of the undead. I'd rather loot toys out of desks and, you know, lockers and things like that. At least it's not as gruesome. Okay, that's all good. I am wondering what these post-apocalyptic Toys for Tots charity is that they're running, where they keep buying these things, but I guess we shouldn't complain. What is a school bag doing nowadays? 1560. Okay, yeah, not that crazy. Okay, nothing there. We're getting even more peckish, so either way, if we don't find a snack, we're going to have to head back to base. We don't want to be running around starving, because we have very, very low attack power with our new build, since we are doctor focused. What's this? Okay, what's that? What's this? What's that? What's this? Alright, we'll check this room. The real trick here is just not to get kind of jaded and just start blindly looting and letting a zombie sneak up on you, because this is normally when I get bit. I'm like blindly just looking directly at inventories and for a specific item or a set of items. And then boom, I turn a corner and I'm not even looking. The zombie just gives me a good old snack on the neck there. That's the end of the run. So I like how light those toy flashlights are. That's nice. I guess, yeah, most flashlights, it's just the weight of the battery, really, when you think of it. Somebody's just done something with half of these teachers' desks. I'm not really sure what's going on there. But hey, we have a game plan now, right? We know that we can go through these schools and at least pick up a fair amount of crayons and various toys from these desks. And honestly, 10 bucks a pop, it's even better. Oh, lollipop, will eat that. Even more efficient than killing zombies and looting jewelry. Which again also works for our new less than aggressive playstyle. Although we are still going to want to try to level up our shooting ability, just for general purposes. One point or another, we will definitely have to come to a fight, and we'll want to be doing more than just healing the sick and wounded. There's a couple zombies in this classroom. Let's get this one here. Okay, still grabbing those. Oh, guess they're crawling away. That's good. Okay. The twist, whole bunch of books. My goodness. We'll grab this first aid 910 because I'm not sure if I've got that one. And again, that is our primary focus for this character. Also, I'm going to get in the habit of shattering pretty much anything that is shatterable, because I feel like that's going to be helpful just for getting those test tubes. Because I think the real stopping point for the zombie cure for a lot of people is just getting all that tainted blood samples. So I think you need something like 20 to 25 blood samples for one dose of the cure. And that's just because I think you need several to get like the antibodies out of, and then you need several more just to get like the microbes. So like they have multiple purposes from what I've seen. Again, that's just what I've kind of piecemealed, figured out from the various magazines that I've read with regard to chemistry and all that in the game. Nothing very useful in here. Boys and girls. Okay. Let's go up. Actually, is this another room? Or is this the supply closet? Yeah, we already went here. Okay, let's go upstairs. And we'll check it out. Okay, we're going to probably spend the whole night in this, so 3:30 in the morning, local Zomboid time. So we're going to spend the whole evening just ripping through all these lockers, getting all their fun toys, and selling them for profit. Again, it's mostly yo-yo, Rubik's Cube kind of gang. Sorry, I should say a puzzle cube. Non-copyright infringing puzzle cube. A drained glow stick. Oh, that's sad. The rave is over. The party's done. The glow sticks have gone dry. And yeah, I might do a little research between episodes to figure out what that COD trader is implying, because if you're telling me I can get 10 bucks a pop for all of these toy flashlights that I'm picking up, and what I've picked up 15 already, I mean, that's quite significant. Clearly they are common. So if I could figure out, again, I'm just trying to get a leg up on these other people on the server, trying to figure out some sort of angle where I can actually make a little bit of cash and be able to kind of participate in the economy. So it's not just about getting a vaccine or a cure for the zombie virus just for myself, but actually participating in an economy, right? That's part of the fun of any multiplayer game like this, where it's a large server, large group of people playing together. So being able to actually trade with one another. But you can't do much trading if you don't have any money. I could actually, I guess, decide to start selling some of my hard-fought items, like my ammo and other weapons that I've found along the way. We might get around to that, because honestly I have a few of my favorites, but I really only use a shotgun, a pistol, and like 2 of the rifles, so I know I have at least a half a dozen, possibly a dozen other weapons that I could probably sell. But again, if I've got them, everybody else has them too. That's just kind of the way it's working. Like, I realize now I don't think I've looted anything in the server that is very unique. Probably the best thing would be my sledgehammer. But even then, most people find one sledgehammer, they're good for the whole server, so they're not worrying about trading up for one. Because one sledgehammer is as good as any other. They're all 6 kilos, they're all very wieldy or unwieldy to use, and they all do the same thing. The only reason you need more is if for some reason you actually used it for combat and you managed to break it. Oh, somebody put a gas can in here. That's interesting. Huh. Well, we'll take the gas can. Seems to be an odd thing to sit on a counter in a classroom setting. Spiffo flashlight. I don't think those are worth anything. I could be wrong. But we're leaving those behind for now. Again, I'll probably realize, oh, you know, the real money was in the Spiffo flashlights when I leave them all. But again, we make new mistakes every day, and then we learn from them. Eat this lollipop just to stay ahead of our cravings here. We had an extremely unhealthy snack spree going on. It's all been lollipops and potato chips while we're going through the school. Ooh, okay. So yeah, these desks are still chock full of nice finds. These toys that we're focused on. So definitely worth the trip. I'm actually very glad we figured this out. I was getting a bit discouraged for a minute there that we weren't going to find anything useful in this episode. I think we might have found a way where we don't have to go to a mall full of 10,000 zombies. And we don't have to compete with the raiders at Westpoint with their fancy vehicles and their scary armor. Can actually get a little bit of cash coming in our way here. You know, I wonder if farming results. You could sell food directly through the shop system. That would be a way of basically realizing a profit on it, because that's the biggest issue with food in this game is that, you know, especially farmed food, if you don't pickle it, it's gonna expire probably within like a day or two if you leave the server. Day or two real life, again, that's almost like a month and a half, 2 months in-game time. So all of your, you know, hard-earned crops are going to basically just spoil. So I've not really been keen on trying to farm in the server. And I realize now that the only real, you know, motivation to farm would be if you can sell the crops for cash, then it might be worth it. But again, that still means that you have to take all the effort to set the farm up and then log on frequently. And again, I don't know. I don't have that much of a consistent play schedule where I can guarantee I'll be on at a certain time every day. It's just kind of when I feel like it, I play for an hour or two, we film, and then I upload it like a couple days later. So you're seeing this almost in real time. Ooh, I hear a vehicle outside. But yeah, you're basically seeing these play-along videos in almost real time as I play. Again, I'm putting them out a few days after the fact, but pretty much, yeah. If you're playing on the server, I mean, holler at me. You know where I am. That is definitely a thing. Toy bear. See, this is a raccoon. We're gonna grab these raccoon items and see it because they're not collectibles. It says raccoon. I don't think I can sell these though. That's all right. Again, let's just hope that I didn't get my car towed just now by leaving it out front of the school. Oh no, it's still out there. We're good. Ooh, nice. Okay, so this is a hot spot for toys on the second floor here. Good to know. And I'm starting to get overloaded here. Let's check the shattered glass. How much does shattered glass weigh? I can't imagine it's much. 0.2 each. Okay, that's not too bad. We can be a little overloaded. I'm okay with that. As long as we're just not, you know, limping as we leave the building here. Okay, bathroom. I think this is the teacher's lounge. Some rotten pie. Okay, nothing going there. There was a coffee maker, which I guess I could eventually steal one of those to actually try to use the coffee that we've been stealing. Bathrooms, not that interesting. Let's head back downstairs, and I think that's gonna do it for this loot run. Looks like the faculty meeting got out early. Okay, we'll grab all these fantastic looking jewel items. Oh, not a bad switchblade. Grab some more of that. We're leaving it though, it's not super useful. And yeah, we have a few zombies that have made their way to the vehicle. Killed my flashlight. Let's see here, he's coming back out. Okay. Doot doot. And that looks good. Alright. Let's we'll do a quick offload into the trunk here, just a few items, so we're not over encumbered. A little bit closer than I would like. Alright. Ooh. Tactical camo. Okay, we'll grab that. Basically, it's like a weaponized scythe, essentially. It's usually like a farm tool, but in this case, it is a tool of destruction. And everything else to throw in the back here. And I think we're ready to head back to the safe house. Yep. Oh my goodness. Somebody's shooting. I think we're going to avoid that. I think that might be those two guys from Slay. Yeah, we'll just avoid them. I don't know. They're probably just shooting up zombies. But I do not want to get caught in crossfire, so we're going to head back to safe house the safe way. Just like that, dawn is occurring in Westpoint and all across Knox County. Oops. As we make our way back to our safe house. Again, I think that's, not sure what that is. Maybe a fire station. It's purple, so it should be a community kind of building. We're heading out of town. A surprisingly large group of zombies, actually, on the west side of Westpoint. Usually this stretch of road is a little bit more clear, so maybe we'll have to come through here if and when we actually figure out where all our ammo went, and we can start unloading on these zombies to level up our gun skill and, you know, actually start making a name for ourselves on the leaderboard. Again, I am not playing enough on the server to approach any of the top 20 people with zombie kills. I think I have grand total on the server, maybe like 200 total zombies killed, which is not a lot. So I'm not stressing about competing for those rankings. Yeah, at some point we'll actually have to swing by the hub, and, you know, maybe we'll get adopted by a faction on a future episode. I still haven't really decided how hard I'm going to try to get into a faction. We've toyed around with the idea. We talked to the KYS, we talked to Gunslingers, we talked to the Chillax faction, and Bake as well, but I think they all kind of set up their factions fairly early in the first week or so. So if you're not in one of them by week 2 or 3, then generally I think they're done recruiting people, because, you know, gotta draw the line somewhere, and I get it, the season's only 6 weeks long total. So, you know, you want to lock in that faction and start kind of setting up permanent bases and things of that nature. But yeah, at this point we are coming up right on our safe house here. Again, conveniently located between Westpoint and the hub. And I think we're just going to call it an episode at this point. So I'll do the inventory management at the beginning of the next one. So if you've made it this far in the episode, feel free to like and subscribe to keep up with our adventures here in the PvE Season 11 server. I'm going to lock up the vehicle here real quick. Make sure my trunk is closed. And let's lock it here. Looks good. Alrighty, folks, again, like and subscribe to keep up with our adventures in Project Zomboid Season 11. And until next time, this has been Tallidus Plays.